In this video, I'm going to talk about the two biggest swing flaws I saw today hitting in person and how to fix them. The first one that I would talk about today was lack of posture. So a lot of swings were standing straight up and down. And what this leads to, as I've talked about in other videos, is when the swing is straight up and down, the swing plane is very flat and across. And it leads to a lot of low ball flight poolside, a lot of sliced ball flight oppo, and a lot of hooked balls on the ground without a lot of adjustability, because when we stand straight up and down, right, the swing works across us and then the weight of the barrel takes us across the ball. And for example, if I'm here and I'm standing straight up and down, this is something that I used to do personally, what happens is I don't have a lot of adjustability and I have to get a certain pitch in a pitch location. And if it's not that pitch location, because I'm lacking upper body posture, side bend, I can't get a lot of vertical bat angle to create adjustability in the swing plane. It's much more, I have to jam the hands down, the hands jam down, I get length on this front arm, and once I make this length move, this out move, this draggy move on the front arm, once I create length on the front side, my swing's going to plane out, flatten out, I have to open up the shoulders, and then everything, the strength and momentum and speed just takes me across the ball and I finish low. And something I like to say a lot is, like, wherever your body goes and the barrel goes, the ball's gonna follow. So if you're hitting a bunch of balls, you're watching this, go ahead and like and subscribe, by the way. If you're hitting a bunch of balls to your poolside on the ground, take note of where you're finishing. You're probably finishing across the ball and your chest is facing the ball, instead of being in a place where if you hold your ground, the swing can work around you. If you stay over the plate and you finish high, the ball's gonna go that way too, right? As long as you're on time. And when I say this, right, it's somebody that's making contact out in front. If I'm finishing low and across, the ball's going to go low and down too. So if I hit the ball square out in front, it's going to go, and my top hand's going to roll over. I'm gonna hit a bunch of ground balls, and I don't have any adjustability in shape, depth, spin, off speed, things like that. But if I get myself over the plate, and I think about finishing high, right? If I have a good finish to my swing, that means I had a good start to my swing. Shout out Andre David, one of my hitting coaches with the Kansas City Royals, told me that. If I get myself over the plate and I'm thinking about getting myself to a finishing spot that's between that ear and right shoulder, that means my swing's on plane back here without trying to create depth and length on the backside. It gets me in a place where I can be direct and on plane through the ball and through all the different contact points. So if I get myself here and I think about finishing high and I take my swing, that ball is going to be hit with backspin and good 15 to 25 degree ball flight, which that's what I'm obsessed with. Like, that's what I help people do. And I hope you're watching this video and you can figure that out. But that was the number one thing that I saw. And then the other thing that I saw, this is a big one. If you're watching this, keep in mind, hitters having to work out and around themselves because they're in their own way, right? And what I mean is that this torso gets twisted and, like, facing, for me as a lefty, the third base dugout, that third base dugout, right? And I feel like I'm straight on because my head's looking at the pitcher, right? But I'm actually, my body's faced this way. And because of this, right, if I'm facing you guys, because of this, the minute I see a pitch that's crowding me and I want to get there, usually I'm lacking posture from this position too. But even if I'm not, I have to open up. And then just like that length on the front arm, once I make this move, I can't make that ground back up. It's cooked, right? So what I was having them do was get themselves to feel open, and again, be prepared to make a move to this pitch first, which I believe is far more important than being able to cover out. Because if you can cover, if you're prepared to get to this pitch up and in, right? For the righties that are watching this, if you see me, a lot of righties get set up like this and they have to open up and clear out space, and contact points are always off. A lot of hook poolside, a lot of slice oppo, a lot of bad ball flight, a lot of bad misses. So what happens is I say, hey, get yourself open, but keep yourself over the plate. Now you have a clear lane for your top hand or your bottom hand to get to any pitch that you want. And obviously I'm not a righty, so that probably looks like shit, I don't care, right? But okay, if I'm prepared to get to this pitch with some posture, and say I'm a little bit later, it's not what I want, right? And I'm above the ball, I've got posture, all these things that I talk about. From here, if I'm prepared to get to this pitch and the barrel wins the race, the top hand beats the ball to the spot, all those things. If I'm a little bit late, because I've been assertive and aggressive with contact points, if I catch this ball deep, it's still getting driven oppo, and it's not getting sliced, it's getting backspun and compressed. And all these, and what this sets me up to do is, because I'm prepared to hit this inside pitch, I cover all of those different contact points, middle, away, in, et cetera, right? But if you are in a place where you can't even get there because you're having to work out and around your body, you're in trouble, right? And something that I've noticed, there are some hitters that they may be perceived closed. If the hips are closed off, right? I know that's a philosophy out there. The upper body can't be closed too, right? If the upper body's closed, the hips can't be closed too. They both can't be closed. You may be able to close one of those doors and get away with it, but odds are, perfect example, Ohtani versus lefties, tilts chin up, gets himself above the ball, and opens the gate and is prepared to cover this. And because he's prepared to cover this, he also covers anything that's away, right, as a byproduct, not a focal point. But the priority is here, and now he sets himself up. Now, the thing that I talk to hitters about is like, okay, keep a clear lane, but don't open yourself up, obviously. But it also, again, context, which I'll link to the video that I've recorded before, number one priority. If I'm left on left with a guy that's trying to crowd me, I'm gonna open the gate a little bit, make sure I stay over the plate, right? If it's a righty sinker baller for me, with my situation, I'm going to close this space down with my front side and just hold my ground and keep taking the same swing. But those were the two things that I saw. Lack of posture, and then getting hitters out of their own way today. You just saw the solutions on how to fix them. If you'd like to hit in person with me, I live in Kentucky right now. The facilities in Clarksville, Indiana. Want to work with me remote, unfinished player development, online coaching, online training, personalized for you to develop a routine that's going to help you create consistent backspin. Go ahead and fill out an application below. This is for advanced hitters, MLB hitters, college hitters on their way to the MLB, high school hitters on their way to college baseball, right? If you want to learn how to consistently compress the back and backspin the baseball and consistently be in a place to have a situation-proof swing that has no holes in it, this is where you need to be, working with me, getting this stuff dialed in so that there's no more guesswork, so that you can go out and compete in any situation, in any environment, and not feel like you have to be anything other than yourself. Fill out an application. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next video.